Hi, everybody.
Hey everyone. So we are at time. Well, no, we're late. In fact, I'm late. So I get started. We have a bunch of announcements. I'll let you all have a read through those in your own time. Oh, Myra, are you good? I was going to say, if you want to discuss, if you got cover, awesome. Great. And discussion items. So on A, sadly, we are getting very close to both Robert and Henry leaving us. We all know they have got a whole heap of knowledge and things they're working on or have been working on over the years. So they're already both thinking of handover things, but please, if you can give them as a hand, that would be super helpful. So we've got a doc set up for each of them. If you have any thoughts at all on things that possibly either of them uniquely own the knowledge of or have been working on that we do need to find a way to hand over for, then please just jot a note in there. That might be that we run some sort of knowledge share session or add some documentation or somebody does a walkthrough of something. So Henry's got an example in his already. He's already putting together all the pieces for what's going on with container registry. And he'll be handing that over to Graham so that we can continue to run that. So any thoughts at all on things that we might want to make sure we have handed over, please drop a note in that doc or bring it up in your one-to-one with your manager. Awesome. Myra, do you want to run through B?
Yep, thanks. I was hoping for Alessio to be on the call, but he's not here, so I will let him know. Well, this is basically the plan that we have. I just wanted to share it. So since this is the week to the 22nd, the plan that we have so far, without considering awful incidents, is just to deploy for today and tomorrow to continue auto deploys. On Wednesday is to prepare or to announce the candidate commit, the last one. On Thursday, we are going to tag the RC, and on Friday, we are going to tag the final version. And that basically leaves us on Sunday to publish that 15.0 version. Now, I'm not sure if Alessio is going to be available to do this. I also have to do a personal commitment. I'm going to be very early on Sunday, so I can also do this if Alessio is not available. Or perhaps we can both be online. Is this something that I need to discuss with Alessio?
Let us know if you need help. I'm also around on Sunday, but please ask for whatever you need to cover this.
Awesome. Okay. And then if time allows, and I think it will, because we are not going to perform it, but I think Graham's is going to perform the last patch release for 14.10.
Yes, I'll work with him. I don't know. So great. I'll work with Graham. We'll patch 14.10 on Wednesday, hopefully.
Okay. Should I open up an issue for that? Like there are some steps that are going to be required for him to do because there are some merge requests assigned to us that are directly created against the stable branch that will need to be merged by Graham's instead of us. So I just want to open up the issue so he can have like a clear set of steps.
Okay, yeah, if you want to do the prep task, that would be great. Yeah, okay, thanks a lot.
Okay, perfect. So that's it. Hopefully we will have no awful incident this week, hopefully.
One thing to watch out for you, Myra, and also Alessio and Graham, hopefully have seen the recording, is the DB decomposition stuff is rolling through staging this week.
Right.
I've already warned them that we will have some deployments that we must get through in order for the release prep. They also must get some of their CRs through in order to continue their project. So work around that, but also don't feel bad if we get asked if we can stop deployments if we haven't had a deployment for 12 hours and we're running behind on the release prep, it's also fine to say, to ask them to hold off so we can do the release.
Yeah, thank you. I saw a message from a person saying that they are going to try it today, APAC time. So I think as long as we manage to do 1 or 2 deployments today, it should be fine.
Okay, great stuff.
Thank you.
So Skarbek, you've got next one.
Yeah, so there's a proposal coming forward where we're trying to make a change to how a part of our front end works, where we're trying to pin front end requests to Canary if you have visited Canary, or the main stage if you're on the main stage. I don't agree with this solution. We're kind of masking the overall problem by leveraging our front end to ensure that client requests match the front end that they went to initially, whether that be the Canary or the main stage. I don't like the solution because we still have the situation where during a deployment, this problem could still occur. While the time window is shorter because the differentiator is no longer between stage and Canary. It's more like, well, you hit main stage, but main stage is in the process of deploying. We haven't addressed the root cause of this issue. I would prefer it if we could try to figure out how to enable development teams to provide a mechanism for themselves to make this easier. There's a comment that indicates that, this is one solution to make it easier, but like, it's not, I don't know what to answer Amy's question. I don't know personally.
Okay, that was what I was wondering about. Yeah. So I would suggest in this case then, so I think what it looks like from the MR is other people don't necessarily know either. So I would suggest, do we know some people who are good at thinking these sorts of things through? Could we get a small group of people to actually, capture what options do we have on this?
Alessia would be a great candidate.
And I mean, it doesn't have to just be from us, right? Because I think we're quite one-sided. I think if it's front end saying this will be hard. Okay, let's see. So we've got from our side, who would like to see this solved differently?
I would.
Yeah, so it's just Skarbek and Alessia. Okay, let me see if we can gather up a group of people who we can actually run some ideas around with on getting this properly solved.
Okay.
The person I'm actually thinking about is whether, so we have our stable counterpart, Andre, who is front end engineering manager. So I'm wondering if we can ask him to help us on this one.
That'd be great.
So let me reach out to Andre and see if he can actually help.
Okay.
Well, thanks for raising that up, Skarbek. Good catch that this doesn't necessarily, because I think from my view, it's kind of like, even if we do this, it doesn't necessarily gain that much. So it's kind of even if people love this solution, it can't probably be the only solution anyway.
I guess that solution is to lower the burden to front-end maintainers. So instead of they merging 2 MRs at different times, they just want to merge 1 MR. So they are saying,
Precisely.
oh, this helps with velocity, and it helps with velocity on their side, but it doesn't necessarily help with velocity on our side because issues are going to still be there. So it doesn't help with situations on the infra side.
Cool. All right, let's see if we can get some options there. Thanks for bringing that up, Skarbek.
All right, and the next item I've got, and Myra, this is related to something you and I ran into on Friday, and Alessio brought this up to me as well. We're starting to see issues where Sidekick is getting stuck during deployment, and I troubleshooted this a little bit with Myra last week when she was doing a deploy, and I don't know what is going on, but Sidekick just gets stuck. One of the larger deployments takes a while to complete, and Kubernetes will report that the progress deadline was exceeded, which is, I can't remember what the defaults are, but we certainly did. but the deployment wasn't moving. Like there was no change in the pods that were active at the time of the deployment. So Helm was waiting for something that was never going to complete. And Kubernetes, for whatever reason, wasn't making any attempt to make the deploy progress any further. So right now, I just created a placeholder issue. I think it warrants setting an appropriate priority and try to get picked up soon. The fact that this has happened at least twice in the last 2 business days is quite concerning. So I'd like to try to get in front of it to figure out what's going on. The one thing that I did not comment on in the issue yet, but something I did see when I was troubleshooting this last week, was that it looks like our pods are getting stuck with a error that doesn't make sense. It appears they get spun up and started, but then Kubernetes is recording a container creation failure, but the containers were started and the liveliness and readiness probes are failing. So there's a conflict in my mind with how the expectation of a deployment is supposed to roll through. So it warrants a little bit of research. And if this continues to be a problem, this is obviously going to be quite irritable. So I would say for release managers, if the regional cluster is taking longer than say 20 minutes, kind of assume there's a problem at the moment, and we need to try to figure out what to do to alleviate that problem. The work that I did on Friday to troubleshoot wasn't significant enough to lead me in a direction towards trying to figure out what a good solution to this problem may be at the moment. So more work is required to figure this out. So I just wanted to raise this because it's going to be a constant problem until we address it.
So a couple of questions for you, Skarbek. So would you be able to add some details? Like, have we got any logs or jobs or things that someone who didn't see this getting hung would be able to go into and take a look at?
I do need to refine this. I just quickly created it
Okay, great.
prior to this meeting. But
okay, awesome.
Yeah, I do plan on refining this issue.
Perfect. Would anybody disagree with this being a P1, where which we put something down and pick this up? No? I don't know if you agree or disagree. I'm going to take your agreement. That's more the answer I'm wanting. Because what I'm going to suggest is we give Graham a ping on this, because I know a lot of people are quite busy on other critical things, but at the same time, as much as I don't want to interrupt what Graham's working on, also, I think it'd be better to not have this through the whole of this week if we are trying to get a release prepped. Yeah, okay, great.
Okay, with
so
that,
yeah,
I'll try to refine the issue as much as possible. That way Graham has a good head start on
perfect.
what he needs to, what information he'll need.
Brilliant, that'd be super helpful. Thanks, Skarbek. Great. I'll give Graham a ping on there as well. Awesome. Cool. Okay, so release management stuff. So deployment blockers we haven't got at the moment, but Myra, let's see, I've given you a quick ping on gathering up what the blockers were from last week. At the moment, it looks like last week was incredible. So I go with that until I hear otherwise, but I feel like there may be an otherwise. But based on things we've seen, and we've got this sidekick deployment issue coming in for investigation, like, do we need to be changing team priorities to support you? By which I mean, do we need to have the conversations to downgrade SSHD and downgrade registry, or stop on our OKR in order to do more to support release management?
No, I don't think it is the case. I don't see any issue that will move us faster right now. As long as we don't have incidents, then, which is a big as long, release management is easy, or should be easy this week.
Great. Okay, good stuff. Good luck. Let us know if there are things that you need help on through this week. Cool. Is there anything anyone wants to bring up on the recording before I stop? Nope. Okay.